a look at this video. A giant house fire. No injuries, but flames quickly spread across the entire 23,000 square foot home in Louisville, Kentucky. Daytime video from overhead shows the extensive damage. Now, as you've just seen, it happens in an instant. An entire room, even an entire home, engulfed in an intense fireball. 2 News anchor Stephen Romo is here now to show what you need to know to keep your family safe. Stephen.
Yeah, Karen, we've seen plenty of instances like that. It's called a flashover. You can take a look. 1 minute, dense smoke is boiling out of this house. The next, it erupts into an inferno. Everything, floor to ceiling, wall to wall, even the smoke is burning.
Ton of flames just shot out from the garage.
I can't believe it. I keep looking at it and thinking, oh, this is a bad dream. This has got to be a bad dream.
We traveled to Missouri with the OSU Fire Service training team to see how it uses its mobile flashover unit to train firefighters to recognize when a flashover is imminent. It can mean the difference between life and death for a person in a house fire. So if your house catches on fire, how much time do you have to get out? To give you an idea of how fast a flashover can fully engulf a room, watch as they start this fire and stay tuned. We will be back in the newscast in the same amount of time it took this fire to go from ignition to filling the room with fire. Little hint, it is not long, so don't go anywhere.
Earlier in tonight's newscast, Stephen, you explained what a flashover is. In 1 minute, there's smoke, and then next thing you know, it can be an inferno. How long did it take for the room you were in to fill with smoke?
Incredibly fast, Russ. Just 4 minutes and 48 seconds. It's now fully engulfed in flames. That's all the time it took for this room to become an inferno. And there's something in your home that can make the fire blow up even quicker, giving you and your family less time to escape, and that is plastics. It's in your carpet, your couch, even your cell phone. Many plastics are made from petroleum. Burning plastic can quickly fill a room or whole house with toxic smoke and gases. When flames erupted in this Midtown Tulsa home,
when I screamed, "Kick it in!"
neighbors broke doors and windows to pull a woman and 2 girls from the smoke-filled house in just the moments it took for firefighters to arrive.
It was intense heat. The lady had passed out at the door, and the smoke was so black and intense. She couldn't have lasted much longer. Yeah, she's got facial burns and blisters across through here.
Just 2 decades ago, home furnishings were made mostly of wood, natural fabrics, and metal. Those tend to take longer to catch fire than plastics.
They have had flashovers occur in test laboratories and on scene in little as 1.5 minutes from the time of ignition. This is how you're going to be in the can, okay? Good.
The OSU Fire Service training team,
We got a temperature sensor right here,
teaches firefighters to recognize the potential for a flashover. That fire we saw lit earlier in the newscast, it took just under 5 minutes for it to go from ignition to flashover, and that was burning wood.
It happened really fast.
They've opened the door on the other side now.
Poison gases and smoke from burning plastic are too dangerous to use in these training exercises.
All of a sudden it got really, really dark, and then all of a sudden you just saw flames shoot up, and then you saw them just roll across the top of the smoke and out, and then next thing you know, like that, right over us.
So what exactly is a flashover?
It's flashed.
And why is it so dangerous? In a flashover, every flammable object in the room bursts into flames simultaneously, including the smoke.
Your room is wall to wall, floor to ceiling fire.
You have nowhere to hide.
It's not survivable.
So if you hear this, you and your family should leave the home immediately. Now, when most people hear that smoke alarm, they'll start looking around for the source. But the fire department says the best thing to do is just to get outside fast and let them do the investigating.
It's better to get out, call, and then have it be maybe a false alarm than for it to be real and then get stuck and get trapped.
Because these days with higher risk of flashovers, getting out fast could make the difference between life and death for you and your loved ones. So how do you keep your family safe? You should make sure your smoke detectors work. They're your best line of defense. You can test them monthly and put in fresh batteries at least twice a year. And we can't stress this enough. If you hear that smoke alarm go off, the fire department says get out immediately and give them a call. Stephen Romo, 2 News works for you.
Yeah, in that order, right, Stephen, thanks. One last piece of advice. If your smoke detector is 10 years old or older, it's time to replace it.